Do we both show up on the screen?
Yes, ma'am. All right, here we go. And all right, perfect. And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast this Sunday afternoon. We have two amazing guests with us. Two women who I'm very honored would take time out of their busy schedules to give us some information as well as some inspiration. And that is none other than our recurring guest, Sister Tracy, out of Baltimore, Maryland, who is an incredible hairstylist and educator and does so much more. Thank you, Sister Tracy, for coming on today.
Praise be to Allah, Brother John, for having me today.
Yes, ma'am. And next we have Malty out of St. Louis, who I recently got acquainted with by some of her videos on Facebook that were just real and real inspirational. And I felt that our audience could definitely use some of her information. She's in the medical field and so much more that I get to hear from today, because it's my first time really having a full conversation with her like this and meeting. All right. Well, the first thing I want to say is, the first question I have for you, Sister Tracy, is, first of all, thank everybody for liking, sharing, and subscribing to People's Podcast. Boom. Sister Tracy, the first question I have for you is, what has motivated you to keep going in tough times?
The mere fact that Allah blesses me to wake up every day, that lets me know that He has faith in me to do something greater with this fragile thing called life. So inspiration comes in many different ways. I'm inspired simply by my children, my grandchildren, my friend circles, stuff that people post on social media, not the raggedy stuff, but stuff that's like light worthy, that like will pull you up out of your dark spots. I'm inspired and motivated by music, by art, and just the mere fact that we're here and that it's not over until it's over. So those are some of the things that inspire me just off of surface level. Light worthy.
Okay, perfect. And Malty, what are some of the things that inspire you to keep going during tough times?
Definitely, like Sis said, just waking up in the morning, that's the start. As long as we wake up in the morning, that's opportunity. So definitely that. Also, what inspires me is looking back on my life and different other trial that I've already, been through and learned the lesson and came through, through the light. I always go back to say, well, if I got through it then, I know I can get through this next one, right? Because that only makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So I always go back to like, well, remember when you thought you weren't gonna get through? Remember when you thought it was just so hard and impossible, and look where you're at now because you're here going through something else. So definitely reflecting, and then also understanding that trial is necessary, that hard times and hardship is the bed for growth. And I love growth personally, even though it hurts. You go through the growing pains. The outcome is amazing because you become, you go to another level. You certain things that, like, I got to know myself. Certain things that were in me I didn't know, until I went through the trial, until I went through the hardship, and then came out this beautiful butterfly. So definitely keeping those things in mind.
What she said was something powerful, Brother Josh. Something that Sister Malty said that most people don't pay much attention to. We don't take that self-reflective resume. Like she said, by remembering what you went through and how you overcame it. Like most of us only settle on the worrisome part of it. Like, man, I went through X, Y, and Z. But we tend to forget about, okay, but we overcame that. And as a result of overcoming that, like, this is who I am now. And I would not be who I am now if I had not taken that journey and like being trudged through the mud, as Sister Malty said. So yeah, that personal resume and reminder is a powerful tool. So,
yes.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. And thank you both for your honesty and transparency. Brother James William, always showing love, says, "That's Lakin family." Brother Jimmy, Sister Mimi, my two sisters, Mimi and Naima, both in the greetings. And Brother James William says, "That's right, the outcome is amazing." Okay, so to you, Sister Tracy, how has your faith helped you persevere during the pandemic?
that's like the catalyst of it all. Like, if only we had the faith the size of a mustard seed, scripture says, then and only then will we be able to move a mountain. Like, your faith is paramount. Like, we have to grow from believing a thing into knowing a thing, and you don't know a thing until you actually test it out. Like in mathematics, when you're given a problem, you don't know that 3 + 4 is 7 unless you take 3 things and then 4 things and then add them up to get 7. Like that's what our faith does. Like you don't know how strong your faith muscle is unless it's been exercised.
Yes.
So if we never get an opportunity to go through trial to exercise our faith, how do we know that we're really strong? You don't know how strong you are until you're put into a predicament that really forces you to like see. Like scripture says, show the house to the house. This house can't be shown the house if the house is at somebody else's house. No, like it's that faith muscle and the exercising of that faith and the trials and the things that we go through that really fortifies us. So like my faith is all I have. And once I relinquish that faith, I might as well go ahead and die because I've already committed spiritual and emotional suicide. Like it's without your faith, like you're already dead. Like once the mind is gone, the body follows it slowly. So
Beautiful. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Definitely.
Excellent. Excellent. And my sister's name says, yes, ma'am, with the hands. James Williams says, we wouldn't have chose the road, but thankful for the journey. Absolutely, sir. All right. Malty, what do you got for how has your faith helped you during the pandemic?
Definitely bouncing off Sista Tracy. We wouldn't be nothing without faith, but the faith is tested. And for me, faith in myself, which equates to faith in Allah, the Most High, right? I have built that over time. And so that's how mine has, did you say how it was tested or how it came through? Like how has it benefited?
How has it helped you? How has your faith helped you during
okay. Okay, yes. So being tested over time, like I went back and I said before the first question, I had to go back. You have to evaluate, your journey leading up to this point. And when you evaluate that and evaluate yourself, I have built myself up with the help of the Most High to have faith in myself. And again, that equates to having faith in Allah or the Most High, right? So with that, having faith is, something you strongly believe in, and that's your thoughts, and that turns into your actions. So you have to really, for me, you have to examine what it is that you have faith in, how strong is your faith, because that turns into your actions, and it turns into, how well you're going to push through and get through whatever it is that you're experiencing. So for me, mine is more, it resonates more with myself. Like I've built that faith in myself, to be able to conquer fear, to be able to move mountains, to be able to go and accomplish things that I never thought that I could accomplish, or I never seen within me, So it benefited a lot because, again, I had to go back, and there was many times that I'm just like, okay, my faith is small. I'm gonna be real, right? And for me, I came up with my business called Experiencing God Wellness Center, and experiencing God is just everything that we go through in life, and that's including the times where your faith is short, and when it's tall, and when it's big. That none of that exempts, or none of that separates you from the God, So you're still experiencing God when it's small, but you have to evaluate yourself and bring yourself back up. You have to go inside yourself and figure out, why is my faith so small? What is it that I'm missing, or what is it that I'm not understanding and believing in, or whatever it is. So it's been plenty of days during the pandemic, especially, where I had times to just sit with myself, and I had days where my faith wasn't as strong, and then I have days where it was just strong and I'm going hard. You know what I'm saying? But when it's not as strong, I would say evaluate self. Always go back to self and go down that timeline and just, dig within self. Nobody can help you more than yourself. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can show you yourself more than you looking inside of yourself and seeing yourself. So again, it goes up and down now. I'm not going to say I have it always 100%. Sometimes I come down and I'm like, well, why am I down at this point? Right? It's okay to be down, but it's not okay to stay there. So, yes.
But all you need is that mustard seed. So even if faith is that size of a mustard seed, as long as you don't have any faith, like
that's right.
Mustard seed, and if you've ever held a mustard seed, it's so tiny and microscopic that if you wiggle too far, and you only have to wiggle, like that mustard seed can roll away and get lost and missing. So as long as you don't have it, like that little mustard seed's worth, that's powerful. If you can move a mountain with that little bit.
For sure. Yes, ma'am.
And I love the name of your wellness center. I love that.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Excellent. A lot of magic and all that special stuff that the women bring together. All right. James Williams says we wouldn't have. Okay, well, I already said that. Vincent Ursi says keep records of your journey. My sister Naima said yes, ma'am. Y'all teaching. Boom, boom. Okay, a whole bunch of magic. All right, here we go. Thank you all for your honesty and transparency. Okay, now, Sister Tracy, what advice would you give to someone on not giving up this year?
Okay. So it's easy to give up. Like giving up is the easiest thing to do, like no matter what it is, like it's easy. But would you feel good about yourself knowing that you possibly could have? Like woulda, coulda, shoulda, and regret is one of the greatest horse pills to swallow. Like if you give up right now, how do you know that you couldn't conquer whatever it is that you're giving up on right now? Like who's to say? Like it's easy to give up. People quit on everything. We quit on our relationships. We quit on our spiritual relationships. We quit on ourselves. Like we break promises to ourselves. We don't make our word bond. That's why we have that prayer. I have been greatly unjust to myself. And I do confess my faults. Like not my child was greatly unjust to me, or my husband was greatly unjust to me, or my job was greatly unjust to me. No, I've been greatly unjust to myself. So I do confess my faults. Like quitting is weak. Like quitting means putting a permanent fix to a temporary thing. Like when I first came into the mosque, like the sword that my brother gave me, that's like one of my favorite is sword 29. Like all of us are going to be tried. There's nobody in the annals of history that has not been tested and tried. Like not one. Like Allah tries his greatest of beings. Why? Because only through trial can we become like pushed into our greatest next. Like we don't know what's inside of us unless it's forced out. If a baby was allowed to stay inside of a mother's womb beyond the time of those contractions hurt, labor hurt. Like all of that hurts. Like some of us have to get a cesarean section and we get a scar, but the outside of that pain and that pressure is something that's beautiful and has an opportunity to grow beyond us. So quitting, no, you may want to quit, but I say even if you have to drag yourself and get scabs and scars, drag yourself, surround yourself with people who won't make it easy for you to quit. Quitting is a choice. Just like happiness is a choice, just like living is a choice, quitting is a choice. But you'll be mad as hell at yourself if you quit. And then you see somebody who don't even have half the skill set, half the drive, accomplishing what you said you wanted to accomplish. And they making magic happen and you pissed off because you quit. You aborted the process. So no, quitting is not an option. As long as Allah gives us the breath and as long as that desire is there, nah, quitting is not an option.
Excellent. Yes, ma'am. Brother Joseph sends the greetings to everybody. It says facts, Tracy. My sister Miriam says she's enjoying the early segment. Thank you all for the inspiration and positivity. Thank you very much. Okay, Malty, okay, what you got? Same question. What advice would you give to someone on not giving up this year?
So for me, when I think about giving up, well, let me not say that. I don't think about giving up, but there are people that you know that go through that. Think of it like this: if you give up, then what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You know, are you gonna go lay out in the street, or are you gonna, you know, because if you stop paying bills, then you don't have a home. You know, are you gonna sleep in your car? Does your car have a car note? You know, when you give up, what does that look like? And then what are you gonna do? So giving up is it's easy, but then after you give up, it's hard. The same way it's hard if you have to continue to, you know, continue on and go through the hardship. The only difference is one journey you're leading up to something that's going to give you ease, happiness, and joy and blessings, and then the other one is just leading to hell. You know what I'm saying? So it's like both of them are hard. You got to pick. I don't know if y'all know that saying. I'm a little younger, but they say, are you going to cry in the Rolls Royce or are you going to cry in the Honda Civic? And I just made a video that says, listen, coming to heal is hard. You know, showing your insecurities and being vulnerable is hard, but suffering through your traumas and your pain is hard. So which one you gonna do? Both are hard, right? I think it's important too that we learn, or you go learn what it is to go through trial and what it means, because a lot of people really don't know. They've never been taught that. And I try to teach that through my videos. You know, that trial is necessary as breathing. you know, and it is, but a lot of people really don't understand that. So, you know, the saying is life is a B and then you die. People really think that. So when they go through it, they're like, man, listen, why me? Or, you know, it's just, life is just messed up. That's just what it is. But no, it's not. Life is beautiful if only you knew, but maybe they don't know. So I'm grateful for a platform like this to be able to spread that, because somebody's watching that needs to hear trial is normal and it's necessary. You know what I'm saying? So when you, this is what I look at life like, a game. I used to love Sega, and Sonic was my favorite game. So, you know, when you, it's like a game, you know, you first start off with the first board, you don't know what to expect. The bugs drop poison down. They try to kill you every which way. You might jump into the lava and you might fail that first round because you don't know what to expect. You know, those trials are hidden. And then you fail that first round. You're like, okay, you know what? I'm ready. I'm ready because I know that bug is about to come. I know the lava is 5 minutes in. I'm jumping over it, right? And then at the end, you win that ring. And then you go to the next level. So those trials are necessary. What would be the game if I was just to go straight through with nothing to do and then jump and get the ring? That wouldn't even make sense. You wouldn't even want to play the game. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at life. And so anyway, I think it's important to educate yourself, become knowledgeable, get with someone that can help you and teach you how necessary trial is and struggling is, because it is a beautiful thing. In every negative situation, there's definitely a positive, but it's your job to mine it out and find it. And when you find it, I'm telling you, it's no stopping. It's no stopping. So I think that's the first step. If we understand it, once we understand it, it's like, okay, this is how I look at it. Okay, here we go. Here we go with trial. All right, Alana, now what do you got for me? What's the lesson? What do I need to learn? Because see, I'm about to go to the next level. I like it. Or it's something that I caused on myself, because it's not always, you know, we can't always blame the Most High or the universe, right? What did you do to cause this trial on yourself? I procrastinate a lot. So a lot of things come back to me and I'm like, see, no. That's something you didn't do 2 years ago. And you knew, you know, like, come on, Malty, that you know what's going on. And of course, we understand karma as well. It comes back. So either way, whichever one it is, it's a positive in it. It's an opportunity in it to move to the next level, of your higher self. And that's what we're here for, to keep climbing that ladder to become our higher selves and fulfill our purpose. So really, ultimately, it's a beautiful thing. And once we understand, I think you'll be able to invite it in and be like, okay. And when you in it, we know when we in it, it's not easy to look at it that way all the time. Because I done been through and back and I'm like, but I promise you, keep that mindset. And when you come through, you're going to be like, okay, it's going to get easier and easier and easier, you know, because you have an understanding of it. You're not just going through the storm blind, don't have any tools or nothing. You just wondering. No, you ready to hike over a mountain, knock out a tree, whatever you need to do, you know. So I think understanding it, educating ourselves on how necessary it is to go through the struggle and go through the trial.
And journaling too, Brother Josh. Like, people underestimate the power of the written word. Like, the written word is powerful as well as the spoken word. So like, say if we journal, because most of us, like, it's easy for us to focus on the negative, but all of us get a lesson, as Sister Malty just said. We get a lesson and a blessing from everything that we go through. So just imagine if we journal, like, here was the trial exhibit A. Put your little lines. The lesson that I learned from that trial.
Yes.
In the line, the blessings that are gained from that trial. Like, we don't stay in the same place after we've gone through a trial. Like, we're a whole different person, as she said. Like, I love your game analogy. Like, we're at the next level now. And if you reverted backwards, that means that you died before you completed that round of that game. Like, we should get a lesson from whatever set trial is and a blessing from set trial. But in order to realize that that trial is a blessing, we have to like sift through it and mine it out and be able to like settle on the best parts of it all. Like, if all we continue to do is wear that cloak of victimhood, we'll always remain a victim. But victims normally succumb to whatever they've been through. If you've overcome whatever you've been through, you're no longer a victim, you're a survivor. And so whatever it is that you've overcome, now you're in survivorhood. What could I teach somebody else about what I've overcome? Because normally when you've survived a thing, we all will have the lingerings of post-traumatic stress, right? Post-traumatic stress disorder, if a person has been through the war, if they hear like loud fireworks or whatever, they're triggered, they're taken back to that memory. people who overcome things, like you're a survivor now. So you survived whatever that spiritual, emotional trial war is. If you see somebody that has experienced what you've experienced, you can see it. And so now you can be that beacon of light to help guide them through the darkness because you've already overcome. You're not a victim anymore. You're a survivor. So yeah, go left and then go right and then go straight. And then like you'll see a group of people, they'll know you because they've been there too. Like follow those lights.
Yes.
We got to be able to like pinpoint it. Pull out your pen, whether it's on a napkin or something, and like jot it, like settle on the best parts. Self-study guides are key. Settle on the best parts. We take too much time focusing on the worst parts, wondering why we sick. Settle on the best parts.
And to bounce off of you, what you said is that basically that's another thing that will help us accept the trial and go through it with a better attitude is that, so if I've already been through a certain trial, I'm able to stand there and say, hey, you know, like I do with my daughter, hey, I'm right here. I'm on the other side now. So no, turn left, go right, no, skip over. It's a pothole coming, right? And so that's a blessing too in itself to be able to go through the trial because you learn, you gain that, and you're able to reach back and help someone else, you know. And I love that part because being a healer, I can't, you know, some things how am I going to be able to help you get through to the other side if I have no clue what it's like, you know, none at all. I ain't been through nothing. So what am I going to tell you? You know, no, I'm trying, I can help you navigate through because I've already passed that level, like you said. So that's a blessing in itself. And that's another reason why you should not give up. That's another reason why you shouldn't give up.
That's right.
Think about who you can help.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Excellent. Thank you all for your great answers, your responses. So many people in the comments. Beautiful. Good teaching, sister. Trials purify. Amen. God will see you through. I bear witness. Yes, ma'am. Facts. Okay, excellent. Thank you all for continuing to watch. Now, Sister Tracy, on social media, there may be people who want to reach out to you, follow you on social media to get some inspiration. Where can they do that?
So my social media handle is Sista Tracy, Sista Tracy, Tracy. It's sister on here because on Facebook it's a white lady named Sister Tracy. So I'm Sista Tracy on social media. But every Wednesday I just started doing it just as a checkup for me. What's Up Wednesdays, where I just post a video of whatever is a hot topic for me for that day. Every now and again, I have the awesome opportunity of being a featured speaker for Heal a Woman to Heal a Nation's weekly Wednesday motivational call. But I'm on social media as Sista Tracy. Facebook is where I mostly mingle. Instagram, I have it, but y'all got too many platforms. So I would say Facebook.
Okay. And Malty, where can people follow you and support you?
Okay, so experiencing God with the X instead of an E. It's going to be one word on Instagram, experiencing God, and then, well, pretty much the same thing on Facebook. It's with the X instead of an E. I post daily inspiration, motivation, mixed with a little bit of comedy. I just be myself. And then also my website is experiencinggodwiththex.com. And you can book sessions on there. I do venting services. You can call it, you can just vent. Many of people need that. And then also healing, a whole healing therapy where I help you go into your traumas and dig into them and learn how to locate them and acknowledge them and then communicate them and get them out of there. So yes, experiencing God, tap in, even if you just need to laugh, wake up, hear a good word, a smile, good energy. I might dance and sing, just whatever comes in my mind. That's just me. It's Malty with I, Malty with the Y.
Okay, excellent. And the venting sessions that you have, may I ask how much they charge? Because I want to make sure that I sponsor some of the people who like to just comment on my posts all the time. Apparently, some of them need to vent. How much is a venting session so I can actually sponsor them? Somebody say you be called Malty, so you can get this up off you. How much are they?
25.
25, and that's Zoom or on the phone.
You can pick if you want to FaceTime or if you want to call anonymous. I have a business number. You can call anonymous, or you can present yourself. If you like to see me, that's fine. Everybody's not comfortable with, you know, being present and someone looking at them. So however you would like to do it, the numbers on my Experiencing God Facebook page.
Okay, excellent. So people who, I mean, we all need somebody to talk to. I have a therapist, somebody who artists me, so I'm a mental health advocate, so I'm always looking out for that. So anybody who needs just to get something off your chest, I'll sponsor. The People's Podcast will sponsor because of the sponsors of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, my next question for you, Sister Tracy, is: should we be afraid of what's coming this year?
Should we? Even if we are afraid, I mean, what are we going to do about it, right? It's a saying that says, be afraid and do it anyway. So like nobody knows the time nor the hour but Allah. Like whatever's going to happen is going to happen. We can't just shut ourselves in and just go into a hole and like just die. Like Allah is the author of it all. Like whatever Allah wills is going to be what it's going to be. So should we be afraid of 2021? No, Allah is gifting us with 2021. And even the ugly parts of 2021, like something beautiful is going to be manifested in it, right? So we got to settle on the best part. So, I mean, we're going to be afraid. Afraid of what? Afraid of who? Allah is God. And that's what I tell myself every day. Allah is God. And whatever he allows to happen, praises be to Allah. There's nothing I can do about it.
Excellent. Okay, wonderful. And thank you very much for that. And for you, Malty, should we be afraid of what's coming this year?
Same with sis. Definitely not. So a lot of people are afraid of the unknown, right? And that's what we're facing, the unknown. But what to be afraid, what is it gonna do? So if we know when we're emotional, we cannot think logical. We cannot make proper moves because we're emotional. Everybody's been emotional. If you're just full of fear or anger, you're not going to make proper decisions. So how are you going to lead yourself or your children or your family, to make a proper decision? So no, don't be afraid because you create your own reality as well. Also, we understand that there's other powers to be, but the ultimate power is the Most High, in yourself. So you create your own reality. This is something that I learned. So even with everything going on, this is something I learned a while back in a book, is that attention energizes and intention transforms. So if you place your attention on 2021, the pandemic, 2020, the pandemic, 2021, oh my goodness, what's to come, the government, the president, and we as a collective are going to continue to energize that low vibrational negative energy. But if we place our energy on, for example, a lot of people created businesses in 2021. Me, I launched my business and I didn't see it coming. I surrendered to my purpose in 2020. 2020. And a lot of people, not only if you didn't get a business, what did you get from yourself or your children? You was able to sit and be with your children more. There was I guarantee you, if you look back, you're going to find the good in it. You know what I'm saying? So let's place our attention on ourselves, our elevation, our children, just spending more time and love. Let's spread love. Let's give love and put attention on that because it energizes, right? So no, it's no need to fear because again, if you look back on things that you were afraid of before, if you look back on 2020, you probably were afraid, but where are we at now? Right. All the ones that were, blessed to make it through, where are we at now in 2021? Right? So we're here. So now that's opportunity. If you wake up tomorrow, you woke up this morning, that's opportunity to create your own reality. So no, there's no need to fear anything. I'm trying to get to a point where I don't fear anything. I'm working really hard at that because it's an illusion. We understand that. And we create it. It's like everything is our own mind. It's like, stop, because it's all you. As soon as you dismiss it, as soon as you say it's no longer there, then it's not a reality anymore. Think about how powerful that is.
You just served up a whole meal right there, because we done on so much foolishness. Like I have to intentionally tune out like the madness. Like I don't want to see another statistic about Corona, about the presidency, about the anarchy. I don't want to hear none of that crap because that does something to my soul. Like if you're not bringing light, you can get the hell out of my face. Like I don't want it. I don't want to hear the talk. Like it does something to my soul. Like I'm an empath. So if you bringing your foolishness my way, like I'm ingesting it, and that's junk food. Junk food is never good for the body. Like I don't want it. So I want to create my own atmosphere with intention. I'm lighting candles. I got my meditation going. I got my motivational messages going. I'm listening to good music. I eat my snacks every now and again. Too much, too often. But like I want good stuff around me, good people around me. If you got negative, low vibrations, I can't entertain the foolishness. I don't care who you are or why you're calling. There's so many energy vampires and woe is me people. Like, good Lord, like, you alive. You better live while you can, because it's going to be a day when we won't have the opportunity to live. So if all you talk about is, oh Lord, when we die, and you know, tomorrow ain't promised, it's not. So you should live right now, because tomorrow is not promised. So what you doing right now? Because it ain't promised. Like, you served up a whole meal, sis.
No, seriously. And then I just want to say this, not to say don't prepare. We understand that, no, you should prepare yourself, but preparing and worrying or fearing is two totally different things. So place your attention on preparing. So that's going to energize it, and then take it away from, like you said, what I'm empathic too. I have to intentionally block it out. Oh, you're going to get the vaccine. I'm a nurse, so I go to work. This lady came in. Are you going to get the vaccine? No, ma'am. Okay, because I don't push it on anyone. If you don't want to know, I will not try to push it on you. If you want to know and you genuinely want to know, I will educate you. And she's like, well, I'm gonna get it, and I feel like that I owe it to the community. I think it's wrong. Yes, ma'am. Right? Because I'm not going to entertain. You want me to energize this? I'm not going to do it. But she wanted to keep talking about it and keep talking about it. And I said, well, honey, listen, I'm gonna go start my shift, because I see where you're going with it. And you're mad because I'm not entertaining it, but I'm not gonna energize that. I'm not gonna place my attention on it. I know what I'm doing. Again, if you wanted to know, I would educate you, but that's not the spirit that you have. That's not your intentions, right? So I'm not gonna energize it. You can go home, you can go in your car on your way home and keep talking about it. And you're going to keep just making it bigger and bigger. And you could tell she was just speaking out of fear, you know, and she was upset because I wasn't entertaining her fear. No, I'm not going to do that. And then being empathic, it's like, whoa, okay, I have to stop you where you're at, because I'll start to take it all in. So we have to be mindful of what we're entertaining as well. It might just seem like a conversation, but no, you're transferring fear into me. And I reject that. You're right. I'm working on my own fears. I have no time for yours. It doesn't mean I'm not preparing though. You know, so that's the difference.
Man, y'all going off, man. It's just a whole bunch of sisters just snapping fingers, everything going on right now. All right, excellent. Courtney Cotton said loves to see it. Kwani, my nephew says, Daquan Jamal says absolutely. In fact, it's my nephew, so I can't call him Kwani because he's grown now. All right. Okay, thank you, Kwani, for that. And Brother Vincent says, I'm going to sponsor people to lash out on somebody. Absolutely, I'm going to sponsor people to get it up off their chest. Okay, speaking of me sponsoring her podcast, I want to give a quick 60-second commercial break to all of the sponsors of the People's Podcast this month, because this has been a great month for business. And, you know, like you said, during the pandemic, we've been able to do that. My brother Rashad, Street Premier Media Production. He has a 4K camera and a drone. He works on television and film editing. Thank you very much. My sister Miriam, ABC I Love Me, children's and coloring book, both of which are on Amazon. Make sure you all go out and go get that. My sister Naima, Stay On Point Dance Academy, LLC. We love our tiny dancers. She teaches ballet virtually to young girls all across the country. You know, sign up for that. Nations Auto Sales, LLC. Our brother out of St. Louis, who was been a sponsor since the beginning. Thank you very much, sir, for your sponsorship. And if you need some cars, let them know. If you're on the West Coast, NTS Car Bros, any make, any model, any year, saving clients 30 to 50% off. Make sure you reach out. They'll ship the cars or the trucks. They're California based, but they service nationwide. Excellent. Raising Black Millionaires, Sister Tia Muhammad. She teaches economic empowerment and development to young Black children through flashcards, and is very inspirational. Also, Brother Kenneth Muhammad, bow tie maker extraordinaire. He'll ship bow ties to you all across the country. I'm coming right back to Sista Tracy and Malty. Detroit Mecca Project, Brother Kamal out of Chicago, but he has a business in Detroit where they're fixing up the communities and making it a safe and decent place to live. Thank you very much, Brother Kamal. Brother Chantel X, he pays truck drivers weekly, and he specializes in refrigeration, the X and Express. Thank you very much. Real Hip Hop Network, they're actually paying people based off your streams. They have their own platform. So if you have if you do music, podcast, whatever you do, if you want to get on there and get your streams up, you can get paid per stream. That's their business. Brother Jabbar Muhammad, Client First Incorporated, painting, carpentry, flooring, plumbing, etc. in the Chicago area, in the Memphis, Tennessee area as well. The Hip Hop Detox, I just interviewed him the other day. They are going into schools, working on a holistic approach to education and healing our youth. through hip hop, through arts and culture. So make sure we reach out to Hip Hop Detox, bring them to your city. Dr. Henry, right here in Atlanta, Georgia, King Henry's Turkey Legs. Thank you very much. Brother Rashad, COVID-19 disinfectant cleaning services. I'm coming home. My father's book, A Soldier in the Movement of Christ, AbdulSharif.com. And last but not least, my two books, Cleopatra, which is a children's book, and No Father, No Excuse, both of which are on Amazon. If you would like to be a sponsor or a donor, please Cash App the People's Podcast. Let's get right back to it. All right, boom. James Williams. All right, here we go. All right, for our last question, I got some action steps for us. We want to leave on with some action because y'all have given us the spirit and energy. Now we're ready to go. Sister Tracy, what action steps would you give to someone to do this month for self-care?
I would say get the hell out of your own way. 2, hold yourself accountable. Like stop blaming everybody else. Take a look in the mirror. 2020 showed us that self-reflection time. 3, get back in tune with God. And this is in no specific order. I'm just going off the top of my head. But get back and forming a personal relationship with the Creator. Because I think when you don't have a personal relationship with the Creator, everything else becomes off kilter. 4, surround yourself with people who are of like mind. If everybody in your friend circle is at the same pace, you need to level up your friend circle and involve yourself with people who are taking things to the next level. 5, I would say itemize exactly who it is you project yourself in being, and then work really hard at becoming that. A lot of times we just say things in the abstract and we say it like just put it out into the atmosphere, but it goes nowhere and it lands like effortlessly because we haven't really put it in black and white so that we can remind ourselves of who it is. I would say 6, I think we're at 6. Tell people who you know gonna hold you accountable to you making your word bond to yourself. Like tell them what it is that you profess that you want to do because they're gonna hold your foot to the fire. 7, I would say be selfless by doing service, like give. Like giving is a great medicine. Like sometimes we say self-love is the key. Yes, self-love is key, but selfishness is the lock. And a lot of times we focus on self-love, self-love, self-love. Like self-love shouldn't be selfish. Like you don't just put yourself in the corner and I'm just worrying about myself. I'm loving myself. Well, how is just loving yourself in your own little corner gonna be productive to anybody if nobody even sees you shining because you're too busy hiding in your corner, loving up on yourself? Like, no, go and do some service. Love yourself by doing some service. Like you see homeless people every day. You see single moms every day. Like send a random cash app to somebody just because. Say a kind word to somebody just because you can. Like do a random act of kindness, not to receive anything in the end, but just because it's so random and you never know what a smile or a kind word or a reminder of self can do for somebody. Like whatever we boomerang into the atmosphere is coming right back because our people are our reflections. And I think I'm at number 8, like read good books. And if you're not a good reader, read some good memes. Like get some good memes. Laugh. I guess we're at 9 or 10, like laugh. Fine, when you feel yourself in a sad space, pull up some Nephew Tommy or some prank videos and laugh yourself to some laughing tears to get away from the sad tears. Like do stuff that makes your heart happy. Like just go dancing somewhere. Like eat some good food. Surround yourself with good people. Listen to good stuff. I lost track of numbers, so I'm not even going to continue counting. But I would just say one, like out of it all, hold yourself accountable. Make your word bond to yourself. Make sure you're making your prayers. Like we get away from praying. You know, yes, Allah is in us, and a lot of times we take it on as if we are the supreme being. So we don't pray to the supreme being anymore because I'm God too. Yeah, but you're not the supreme being because if you were, you could keep yourself here. You could stop the pandemic. You could stop the violence in your community if you were the supreme being. So like refortify that personal relationship with Allah. And I guarantee once we do that, everything else will fall into place. Stay away from negative energy vampires and be good to yourself. Because whatever we do to ourselves, it should emanate and resonate outside of ourselves. So put good in, good comes out. Be good, do good, and like everything else will just fall into place, even in the midst of trials.
Hello.
Excellent. You all have so many comments, and I see you all's comments. Thank you very much. This is Quani's first time watching, so I thank my nephew for watching, and thank everybody.
Honey.
Okay, boom. Malty, the question goes to you. You're gonna close this out. What action step would you give to someone to do this month for self-care?
Sister, first of all, that was packed.
Sorry.
Man, no, that was good. But I really pretty much everything you said, I definitely let's see. First thing I would say is be alone, get alone. If you haven't already been forced to get alone, don't wait till you're forced to be alone. Be alone on your own. I just want to promote that it's okay to be alone. You know, I had to learn that, you know, and getting to know myself. Um, Being alone, a lot of times people don't like it because you have to sit with yourself. You have to sit with your thoughts. You have to sit with your traumas and what they call demons, you know. And then your thoughts begin to go. And a lot of people cannot take it. They want to suppress it. So some people go do drugs, some people go do alcohol, but some people move around a lot. I'm one. I'm always on the go.
That's me.
Yeah. And I didn't realize this until like, it's not maybe a year ago. Oh, I'm always on the go. Now, am I doing something? Sometimes I promise. I go all day and I'm like, what did I do? My daughter even said, Mom, what do we do all day? Going from sun up to sundown. So anyway, be alone. Don't be afraid, even when those thoughts come up. This is why therapy and healing is important. Begin your journey of healing, but get by yourself and hear yourself. I want you to know it's okay to be not okay. So even if you're not okay when you're by yourself, start sorting through those thoughts. Start feeling how you feel and acknowledge it. Okay, you know what? I don't feel secure right now, or I don't feel happy, or I don't feel enough. That those uncomfortable feelings start with you. So start to feel them and sort them out. That's the best self-care is being alone, because we don't know who we are. We don't know who we are because from birth or from the womb all the way up, we've been, you know, shaped and molded from our parents or whoever raised us. We've been given commands, right? We've been given agreements. It might be negative, it might be positive, or it might just be something that we are no longer, you know. You are always late. Why are you always late? Those are now playing out in your subconscious mind. And even if you don't want to be late, you're always still late. Why? Because your subconscious mind is still playing it out. Or maybe that's something that you've seen growing up, right? Yeah. It's a habit and you picked it up. Nothing is spooky. You just simply seen it over and over and then you picked it up. So if you sit with yourself, you're able to go into certain things like that and say, oh, this is why. Oh, and then when the trauma start coming up, you can start digging into them. Being alone is okay, but it's also healthy and it's necessary. That is the first thing. Getting into, like Sister says, some type of spiritual base. You know, you want to get in touch with your spiritual side, or whatever religion that you choose, whether it's Islam or whether it is Christianity or Buddhism, or just spirituality, because that is the foundation. When you start unlocking just the spirituality, that's unlocking yourself. You'll be able to say, you know what, okay, you know, you'll be able to be on the path to your purpose, and you'll be able to start to get into things like why I was born, or why do I do the things that I do? Because the things that you do are beyond just you in this present time. Again, it goes back to your shaping and your molding from your rearing or your childhood growing up. It also goes back to what you were put here to do. You know, you might have been put here to complete a certain lesson. So for me, I was put here to complete abandonment. So therefore I had to come through and I had to experience abandonment so I could actually get through it. I can't get through it if I don't go through it, right? So you getting that spiritual foundation of some sort will, I promise you, will help you balance everything out. It's not going to erase things. It will help you deal with the thing, actually deal with them and understand yourself on a bigger level, you know, and not just think that things are just happening just because. Getting with yourself, like you said, surrounding yourself. This is the day and age where there is really no excuse to be ignorant. There is no excuse to not get help. Everything's at the click of a button. You have people, I go on Instagram and I find so many inspirational pages, health conscious pages, food, everything you can think of is now YouTube, Google. There is no excuse. So actually start using that and then connecting yourself with people that are what you want to become, or along those lines. Let go of the jealousy, let go of comparing yourself, let go of feeling like, well, I'm not enough, so maybe I can't speak to this person. Because I guarantee you that if there's anybody that feels like that, I once was there, and I had to grow in degrees, I had to grow in levels, and I'm still growing. But through the hardship, I used to feel like I was cursed, right? I used to feel like I was just, like, why? Now I understand why. I understand it was a lab I was in, and a lab, the Most High was shaping and molding me through the hardship and the trial, alone. Just, I was in my mind, I was learning how to self-heal and all of these things. So attach yourself to people and never feel like you less than, because you're not where they are yet. You're not where they are yet, and you may not be where they are. You may be past, or you may be on another side. Right, and then understanding too that you are you. Who are you? Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Right here.
Understanding that you are here, to complete your task. That's not going to look like anyone else's on this planet. Anyone, right? So such and such may be good at speaking, and you always wanted to speak. Well, build yourself up to speak. Or maybe the speaking avenue is not for you, but find what is for you. Start digging and cultivating, right, yourself, so you can really, this is the sister, so you can really find out what it is that you are supposed to do, because that will exit out that the feeling of inadequacy or jealousy, because you look at other people and you just like, I'm not enough to be in that group. Why not? Oh goodness. I think, sorry you all, it's a therapy call. I hate to ignore it, but yes. So a lot of times we may not feel like we don't want to connect to people that are doing the things that we want to do or we need to do, because we don't feel enough. And I'm here to tell you that you are enough. The fact that you're just here, the fact that you made it through the birth canal, right? The fact that the sperm beat all the millions of other sperms through the canal and hit the egg, that's enough right there. So you are here to do something. And I know a lot of times it gets dark and it feels like you don't know. Get alone. I swear, get alone and get to know. Talk to yourself. I talk and I'll answer and I go through it and I'll come back again, or I'll call my best friend, my sister. I'll call my sisterhood and just be like, okay, I need to. And it's okay to be in shambles. I'm in shambles. I don't know what is going on. I need help. It's okay to need help, and it's okay to reach out. So that's what I got for the self-care. Be good to yourself, because yourself is not all you have, but it is the key to everything else. And everything starts with self. If you think people are attacking you, if you think people are, they're just treating you wrong, always resort back to self. Why am I perceiving it this way? Is it a trigger? Are they stimulating me? What is really going on? You have to go into yourself. So all the outside things will start to make sense when you get into self and really dig it all up and make sense of yourself.
Yeah. Brother Joshua, that was awesome, Sister Malty. Brother Joshua, I don't know how you did it, but I've never met Sister Malty and she's never met me. But when she's talking, she's reflecting me, and I feel like I'm reflecting her. It's just a beautiful thing about allowing yourself to be vulnerable. Like that alone thing, like 2020, like Allah gave us all that gift of being alone. Yes. And he forced us like to really sit with ourselves. Many of us said, if I had time, I would do all of this stuff. And he gave us all of those months of time. Yes. And most of us didn't do nothing. We didn't do a doggone thing with all of that time, which showed us that that's not really something that you really want to do. Like, why do you want to do it? Why do you profess to want to do it? Is it because you're carrying the weight of people's words or the weight of people's expectations? Like, why? What's your intention? What's your motivation? Like, are you being inspired or aspire, like you're aspiring to be like somebody else? You're trying to keep up with the Joneses, whether it's like wanting to speak and daggone well you can't speak, like how you said, like, why? What is your intention? Like, Allah judges us based off of our intentions, and the vulnerability part and allowing ourselves to be transparent, like that's powerful. That is so powerful and so necessary, because not all of us are strong at all the time. Right. Like the strongest person is the one who can admit when he's weak, right? It's a poet friend here. She has a line in one of her pieces that said, transparency makes one strong. And I've added on to that. And that one strong person reflects to other people that you too can be strong. Like all of us have traumas. All of us have stories. All of us have, we can just bring it. We can be bag ladies and bag men, But if we keep just carrying these bags, we're gonna have humps in our backs from carrying these bags. Like we have to unpack the stuff that we're carrying around in our bags. And that's what self-love is, like accepting our parts in the trials, because some of them are trials that Allah gives, and like you said, Sister Malty, the other part is the bullcrap that we put on ourselves, the hardships. I know doggone well I shouldn't be eating potato chips soon as I make it to the shop. Like I should have had a banana instead. Like I know that. I know what it's gonna do to me, but I'm gonna eat these potato chips, you know. Like, and then when I suffer the consequences of eating the potato chips, like, oh Allah, why'd you do this to me? No, Sister
Yeah.
Tracy, why'd you do that to you? Like, stop making Allah the scapegoat for our foolishness. Like, I don't know. I've thoroughly enjoyed this, Brother Joshua. Thank you for tag teaming me with Sister Malty. I love your spirit.
I love yours too. You know, when he told me, he said he's gonna have another sister, he said, I think you all would be good. So this was a perfect match because we just bounced off each other, and everything you said was just on point. It hit my spirit. So yes, I enjoyed you.
Praise be to Allah.
Thank you, Joshua.
Excellent. And thank you all for coming on and giving us the inspiration and information that we need. I just want to read some of the comments because they were so positive. My nephew Kwani is going off. Mimi saying yes, ma'am. My nephew again said attention instead of intentions, like sister said. Naima said yes, beautiful sis. Brother Vincent said beautiful. Well said sis. Mimi, beautiful. Naima says calling your siblings. She blows them up when she needs them all the time. My nephew says that's say that. The ever so beautiful Antoinette says I'm gonna be late for my own funeral. She promises. Okay, everybody.
Me too, Antoinette.
Me too. That's my sister.
Yeah, we're all gonna be late.
Help us, Lord.
And Jimmy Davis says, all praises to Allah. Thank you for this amazing podcast. Brother Josh, thank you for keeping your podcast and guests going. Man, I thank you all because it's the people's podcast. So I was inspired by you all, and I am inspired by you all separately. So I just want to give the people what I got. So boom. Sure. Thank y'all for coming on. We're gonna put this on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe. Once again, go back and watch so y'all can know each person's social media handle so they can support and get some daily inspiration.
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you. Blessings to both of you all.
Blessings.
I love you all.
Love y'all.
Salam, ma'am, and thank y'all for coming on. This is Power. Excellent. Anything I can do? Y'all got some more guest suggestions? Please hit the People's Podcast inbox up on Facebook or YouTube. Boom. All right. Thank y'all for watching.
All right.